No es un secreto que entre mejor conozcamos a nuestros clientes, mejores productos y servicios les podremos ofrecer. Algunas empresas han entendido tan bien este valor que lo han convertido en su regla de oro, utilizando la tecnología y el análisis de datos para tener una visión del cliente de 360 grados, llegando a cambiar la forma en que funciona el negocio. Esto es Norte Digital, la primera serie de entrevistas en México producida por Grupo Financiero Banorte, que marca el rumbo de la transformación digital.
We are here with David Schmeier, President and Chief Product Officer for Salesforce. We are here in your beautiful building in San Francisco, California. Thank you for receiving us.
Hola, it's great to see you.
Thank you very much. We have the tradition to bring you your favorite drink, so you have here a café latte.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. David, can you tell us a little bit about your role in Salesforce? What is your challenges? What are your projects? What is your strategy, the strategies that you are following?
Sure, I'd be happy to. Yeah, I work as the Chief Product Officer for the company. And so what that means is I talk to customers and I talk to analysts and I talk to partners. And then I lead all of our product teams. So our namesake product, our Salesforce automation product, Sales Cloud, or Service Cloud, or Marketing Cloud, or Commerce Cloud, or MuleSoft and Tableau, and then all of our industry clouds, because we tailor all of that for our industry. So we call the whole suite the Customer 360, where we put the customer in the middle. And so my job is to take all of those strategies and to put them together. And then I have someone who leads each one of those different clouds that works directly for me. So I'm responsible for the product part of our business. So it's a fascinating job.
You have an alliance with the Formula 1. How are you dealing with this alliance? What's the purpose of the alliance and how you encourage the customers to watch the Formula 1 and all the products related to the cars?
Yeah, Formula 1 is an incredible brand, maybe one of the most thrilling, exciting brands in the world. And they have a fan base of over 500 million fans. And it's growing like in a phenomenal rate. And so it seems like everybody that I know now is a Formula 1 fan. And there's a huge following in Mexico, in Mexico City, and we were thrilled to be their technology provider of choice. So we talk about the single view of the customer, and that's why we call our suite the Customer 360. They really wanted a single view of the fan. And it's because they're fans, 99% of them don't go to a physical race every year. So maybe I went to a race 2 years ago, and then I haven't been for a while.
99%.
But 99%. So how do you keep all these people engaged? Because they're all rabid fans and they love their driver and they love a certain car and they love Ferraris or other exciting, really cool brands. But if I don't go to an event, how do you keep people engaged? So their digital presence and their online presence was critically important.
What are the keys to maintain, to create these kind of communities? I mean, it's keep them engaged with the Formula 1, but at the same time, 1% only is able to go to a race. The rest, we are seeing it on the TV or in our mobile app. Or what's the secret of creating that community?
Sure. We live in what's called the cookieless future. So cookies are kind of going away, which is the information that are stored in the session. And so therefore, it's incumbent upon brands to create first-party data. So it all starts with our Marketing Cloud, and we have a product we call our Customer Data Cloud. And what that allows you to do is when your customers sign up, they can put in all the information about their preferences and what they like and where they live and who's in their household. And so we did that with Formula 1 with our Data Cloud. And part of what you need to do is give people a reason to want to sign up. So, hey, I'm going to sign up because I'm going to become a frequent fan and I'm going to have a personalized experience and I'm going to get these special prizes or I'm going to become part of this membership club. So you have to give an incentive for people because, if some website just asked you to put in your credentials, you're probably not going to do it unless you're going to be a returning like it's like the bank, right? Your customers, I'm going to do business with you every day because you're my bank, and that's where I do business to do everything in my financial world. And so because of that, we were able to do that with Formula One, so that now they're 500 million fans. They know who they are, they know what they want, they know why they want it. And it also gives them a single source of truth, so that if our names are slightly spelled differently, I know that I'm really me and you're really you. And so this is what they call the single source of truth. I call this the C in CRM. Many companies don't really know who their customers are. We estimate that the average company has 1,093 systems. Pretty precise number. We did a survey and that was the number that came back, but over 1,000 systems. And so if customer information is in each one of those 1,000 systems, how do you really know who the customer is? The only way you know is if you can all link that together so that there's one single golden record for each one of us that has all your preferences and all your orders and all your service issues and all your buying intentions. And so that's what we're able to do with this data cloud. And that's what we're able to do for Formula One, to basically give them a pristine view of every single one of their 500 million fans. So now they know who each and every one of those people are.
And it's from there you are personalizing the fan experience. I mean, because you have this slogan of creating the fan experience with AI, with the CRM, with the data. With that, you can personalize the experience for me, knowing which one I prefer, if I prefer the speed tracks or more curbs or more brakes, or with that you can personalize the experience of the
Yeah, think of it this
fan.
way. Think of it this way. The data will power the AI, and the AI in the future is going to power the customer experience. So it all starts with the data, that you need to know who somebody is and what is all their preferences. And then the biggest change in our business, we just had our Dreamforce annual conference, and it was the AI event of the year. So it was all about artificial intelligence and what we're calling generative artificial intelligence versus predictive artificial intelligence. We've been innovating in AI for the last 10 years. So it's something, we're not strangers to AI. We were probably the first CRM company and first SaaS software company to put AI in the software, starting way back to 2014. And we have an AI research center run by a Stanford professor of AI. So we have a serious AI commitment. But about a year ago, ChatGPT came out and changed everything. And so it was introduced last November, and in the first 9 weeks, they had 100 million users, making it the fastest growing consumer product in history. And so now there's about 2 billion people that use either ChatGPT or Google Bard, or if you add up all the generative technologies, there's over 2 billion people using it per day. And at Salesforce, our AI, we do over 1 trillion predictions a week. So, at the bank, right, you're a customer of ours, and so you're using our artificial intelligence to recommend upsells or cross-sells, or maybe somebody has a checking account and they need a retirement savings, or maybe they want an IRA, or maybe they need long-term insurance. And so now you can recommend those, what products, by knowing what products they have, what products that they might want to purchase in the future.
Yeah, it's all about information, no?
Right.
And talking about information, David, I mean, I know the answer, but it's important to talk to all the people that sees these videos, how you guarantee or ensure the customer that they can rely on your platform to share that information.
The number one most important value is trust. And we figured this out. Salesforce was founded 25 years ago in 1999. And back then, what we called the cloud, or software as a service, was not a household name. In fact, it was not even called that back then. And we had to assure people that, I'm using shared infrastructure, public cloud infrastructure, that you could take your customer data and put it in the cloud, and it would be secure. And then predictive AI, we implemented in Salesforce in 2016. So the same principles of trust, of protecting your data and keeping it secure and private, we applied to artificial intelligence when we first announced our predictive AI capabilities. And that's why we do the 1 trillion predictions per week. So it's like 240 billion predictions every day.
And it's important because the other way people is not going to trust the information to you.
Exactly right.
David, one advice or some advices to small and medium companies that are just starting or they are start their operation. What will be your advice in terms of digital transformation, culture, use of information data, or maybe use of the artificial intelligence? Not only yours, but as a concept.
Sure. I was telling you before the interview that I have created a few software companies, and I created one called Velocity in 2014 and had a bunch of customers in Mexico, and particularly in the telco media sector and also in the insurance sector. And we ran our whole company using SaaS software. So this was in the year 2014. Because I was creating a software company, I said I'm going to run the whole company, not with old software, but all modern cloud software. And it turns out you can run a company very well with, you don't need to build anything, that you can just buy off the shelf SaaS software and run your company. Like I ran the CRM part, of course, on Salesforce, which worked really well, but I used Gmail from Google and NetSuite for the back office. And I had probably 6 apps. And every time we would hire a new employee, we built a 1,000-person company in 5 years. We would just get them a laptop and buy them a license to the products they needed. And so what was great is it just scales with your company growth, that you could just turn on more users and you don't have all this infrastructure or complexity. And it also made it, because it was all in the cloud, everything worked, everything scaled. It was just very, very simple. And I just had to pay the variable costs for their license.
And what will be your advice for, let's say, junior people that they are about to get their degree, they are finishing college, or starting their labor life?
Well, the hottest new field will be this field, which wasn't even a space 2 or 3 years ago. It's called prompt engineering. Yeah. So these large language AI models, they, if you've ever used ChatGPT or Bard, you just ask it a question and it gives you an answer. And the question is the prompt. Now, it turns out it's not just a question, it's an instruction. And so you can actually write multi-level prompts, or you could sort of add multiple prompts. And the prompts can get pretty sophisticated. And so there's actually a whole space now, whereas if you ask a better question, you get a better answer. So prompt engineering is a brand new field where you don't need to be a computer scientist necessarily, but you just need to know the right ways to work with the AI know what to ask. And so that's an interesting thing. But maybe if I were to generalize the answer to your question more, I would just say, do what you love. And if you can figure out how to get paid for that, like I'm lucky that I've always loved software. And so I get to come in every day and figure out what's the new thing in software and build software and bring it to customers. And so I'm very, very fortunate and blessed, I feel, that to do what I love and actually make a living at it.
Perfect, thank you. I'm going to a section that we call rapid fire, so sure. I will send you a question. Who's your favorite Formula One driver?
Michael Schumacher.
Can you give us an insight about the Formula One fans in Mexico?
Yeah, so it's interesting in Mexico, of all places, is in 2022, the event had 400,000 people. And the last 2 events were in the top 5 for the digital presence, like the number of people on Twitter and the number of people activating the Formula One website. So I don't actually know why, but in Mexico, first of all, there's a huge fan base. And second, they're all turning up digitally. More than most places in the entire world. So it's definitely an epicenter and a market that Formula One cares quite a bit about.
Interesting. Speaking about tech industry, and you love software, who do you admire?
I admire Elon Musk. I think Elon Musk is controversial, but most people, I've been fortunate enough to be involved in 4 successful software companies. But Elon Musk is, even different than Steve Jobs, where he pioneered electronic payments. He helped pioneer the commercialization of solar. Then electric cars, of course, with Tesla. Then commercial space flight with SpaceX. Starlink now with satellite-based communications. And the boring company, I guess you would call some kind of transportation company. So I've never seen someone master so many fields. So he's truly the new Steve Jobs, and I would say even in some ways beyond Steve Jobs.
If you were Superman, what will be your kryptonite?
Chocolate.
I love chocolate.
Dark chocolate.
Last book you read?
A book called The Bohemians. So it's a book about Mark Twain and the writers who were very prevalent in the 1800s in Northern California.
Interesting. What was the most astonishing innovation you remember as a kid?
Has to be the cell phone. The fact that you could have a phone, and originally they were this big, but the fact that you carry it around with you, the brick phone, and then it became the iPhone or the Google phone was just amazing.
Perfect. We have a chain of questions, so I'm going to ask you the question that the last guest sent, and then I will ask you for the one for the next one. We were with Peggy Rowe, Chief Customer Officer at Marriott, and she made the question, thinking forward in the next 10 years, what do you think will be the biggest change in your industry?
There's no question that the biggest change will be all about artificial intelligence. I mean, that's just the defining thing. And so no product introduction has ever been faster than generative AI. So what I believe is there will be an Uber and Amazon in every industry, in banking, and in telecom, and in government. So business as we know it is now going to completely change. And the winners are going to be those that go all in on AI. And the people that are the laggards, I think, are going to find themselves in trouble. So I think this is going to redefine our generation.
Yeah. What can be the question that you send to our next guest?
What is the biggest hurdle to leveraging AI in your business?
Very good. David, thank you very much. Thanks for hosting us here.
It was a pleasure. I really enjoyed it and look forward to staying in touch. Thank you very much. Yes.
Thank you. Thank you very much for seeing us. We learned a lot about Formula One. We learned a lot about artificial intelligence data, the CRM, information security. Be aware of our next chapters. Thank you.